missed anything. Oh, great.
Wow, we were gibby-gabbing and I saw I was 2 minutes late to going live. Hello, everybody.
Hi.
We've got Victoria Skirbo and Lena Rodriguez from Tarot Down Under with us.
Becca
and Johnny. Johnny just finished his tarot class. And Lucy.
God. Look at this.
Yeah, we survived Snowmageddon here in Illinois. We had 15 inches of snow and minus 15 Fahrenheit temperatures.
What?
Like minus 45 wind chill factor. I'm like, oh my God. I stayed inside.
Yeah, totally. You know, like, oh God. Are you in an apartment or you have to shovel the driveway or whatever you guys do?
I'm in a house and I have a long driveway and I have a snowblower I just bought. So I was trying to snowblow the snow before the temperatures drop because it's like once the temperatures drop below zero, I'm not going out there and snowblowing and getting frostbite. I'm just not going to do it.
No.
Johnny, did you get snow, Johnny? No, because my cousins that you guys met when I was in Oregon with you guys, they sent pictures and they got snow, but she's not far from you though, right?
She's not, I think she's not far from Edie, but she's a little far from me.
Oh, okay.
Up towards Portland, that way, they did get sort of a wintry mix. Ours, we got rain over here, so nothing stuck.
Because she was telling us that the kids were out of school for like a week because of the snow. And
but this isn't the East Coast and this isn't the mid. When it snows here, everything cripples. Everything shuts down. It's like, oh my God.
Because they're not set up for it.
Yes. And the train tracks froze. Like everything was crippled by snow. And this is not one of them places where that happens often. And so, mind you, we got all of December, no snow. And then we get January towards the end. So we'll probably get little to none in February. And then it'll hail in April. And then it'll all be done.
You guys should have seen the text messages between Johnny and Jenny and I. They're talking about snow and I'm over here like, I hate you guys. Like 60-degree weather. I'm going to the beach. You know, like nothing's happening over here. We finally got rain.
No, Becca, we hate you. No.
I
would love to go to the beach.
I was like,
I'll be going to the beach next week. Yeah.
I think next winter I need to make a deal with Becca that I'm going to bring the 4 cats and come spend winter with her and then come back, let Becca come here.
That's too cold, Jenny. Like I could do the cold in Oregon, like where Johnny's at or where my cousins are at, but up there, that's too, I will die.
They had actual frost quakes here, which is where the ground was moist, had a lot of water in it, and the ground freezes when it goes sub-zero, and the swells the soil, and it cracks like people's driveways and roads and stuff. They had frost quakes.
we call them frost heaves up here.
Oh, okay. Because where are you, Victoria? You're in Massachusetts, I think.
Right. I'm on the coast by Cape Cod, so it's not as bad as other parts. Like the mountains will get more snow. But sometimes when we get snow, we get like 4 feet, or we don't get snow.
Okay.
That's it. Like a dusting or 4 feet. So it depends. But everything's changing now. So who knows? This might be. Look. We might be able to go to the beach next year at this time.
Yeah, sure.
I want no parts of heat. I'll take the cold. You can keep the snow business because, again, the whole thing shut down. And it's like we literally froze for some reason. But other than that, I don't care about the cold. Give me the cold. Keep the heat. I don't care about the beach.
Yeah. You're not a beach bunny, John.
It hadn't been that long. I remember pictures on the news of Boston where they had like from snow after snow after snow of 9 feet of snow in Boston, just walls of snow that people are trying to carve out pathways in.
I remember
about parking on a good day, on a sunny day, parking in Boston. You might as well.
The college kids like going on rooftops and jumping into it and all that, the crazy stuff the college kids were doing. I remember that.
My healing energy seminar is over 50% sold out. So if you would like to attend it, if you'll go to my website, just click on seminars, and there's 2 different dates. It's a Friday night, Saturday all day, half day Sunday event. The times are listed in the verbiage, so you can read that. And it also has a countdown, like how many people have registered for each one, so you can see which event still has openings. Would love for people to sign up. Vicki and I are going to go live tomorrow at 10 Central, 11 Eastern, and we're going to look at my chart in astrology, and we're also going to talk about Pluto in Aquarius a little more, probably.
Sure, yeah. Can you feel it?
Because it just moved in yesterday.
Yes, it did. Uh-huh.
So if you want to know more about that, join us tomorrow, 11 a.m. Eastern Time, 10 a.m. Central Time. Have you got anything else going on, Victoria?
Well, I just started my Introduction to Kabbalah class. That just started last Thursday. And on the 5th, which is a Monday, I'm starting a beginner's astrology class, February 5th, 7 to 9 p.m. Eastern for 6 consecutive Mondays. All the classes are recorded, so if you can't make them all, it's not a big deal. And I'm also giving the option of doing the same class on a Saturday, starting the 3rd of February for 6 consecutive Saturdays. So those things are on my website under the events page, theseedsoftransformation.com events. So.
Anybody watching these videos later, if you want links to these things we're talking about, our moderators are awesome. They're putting links in the live chat. So just open up your live chat and you can click on everybody's YouTube channel and their websites and things for registering for things. What have you got going on, Lena?
That'd be not much. I'm having a social January, and I've been out more this week than I have in 3 months. And I'm just knocking the work down a little bit, and I'm catching up with people,
If someone wants to book a reading with you, they email you.
Yeah, for sure. I do readings, and I also do them 7 days a week, in the sense because some people need weekends, and weekends don't matter to me. So if you want to, if the moderators put that link up, I'm happy to work weekends.
Sorry about that.
And you'll help people figure out time zone differences if there's if they're here in the U.S.
Yeah.
And Johnny is wrapping up.
It's funny because, but 90% of the people I do readings for are from the US. And occasionally I get someone from Australia or something. I go, oh my God, my brain freezes. I go, oh, I have to think about that. I'm so used to the US time zones.
It's funny, but the majority of mine come from the US also, but I occasionally get somebody from Australia that I do a Skype reading with. I'm like, oh wow, figure out the time difference.
Yeah. And the worst for me is Europe, actually, because I have to do it late at night at my end, which I'm not mad about. So US is cool.
Johnny's got his tarot class going on with another one coming up in March.
March the 3rd, 2 p.m. Pacific. If you want to reserve a spot, because that's what we're doing right now, email me, tarosapprentice@gmail.com.
Commando.
Miss Becca?
Your microphone's off, Becca.
Yeah, I know. I mute it.
Oh, okay.
When I'm not talking, I mute. I have nothing.
Other than she's walking Braxy on the beach. All the things that I would have loved to do. No, minus 15 degrees here.
We start school with her on Tuesday. So Tuesday evening, she starts school. So I'll keep you guys posted on how that goes.
Oh my God.
Yeah. You have to train a dog like Braxy.
Yeah.
Really
I mean, She knows sit and down. We got to get her on stay. When we go walking and stuff, she's already learned that she sits at the crosswalks before we go, like stuff like little things like that, you know. I want to teach her some house manners but it's kind of hard because we don't really ever have people come over, you know. So other than bothering the neighbors, like, hey, come knock on my door, you know, that's going to be a little bit difficult, but she's been so easy to train. It's incredible.
I loved her watching the other dogs at the beach zooming around her, and she's like, oh my God, there's so many friends here. Hang on.
Yeah, she's pretty cool. She's cool.
Oh, God. My niece had a pug years ago, and it failed puppy school twice. And in the end, got a certificate for attendance.
Perfect attendance.
For the person that was asking, she'll be 7 months old tomorrow. She turned 7 months old.
So when's her birthday, Becca?
June 22nd.
Oh, she's a Cancer. She's a mama's girl. Okay.
Yeah.
There you go.
And for anybody in the chat, if you don't have anything you would like to get a reading on, but you want a reading on your pets, Auntie Biscuits right here, because she had done a reading before we even got Braxy, and it was just like, okay. You know.
I was like, she's gonna be a mama's girl. She's gonna like listen to you, and you're the discipline with her, and she's gonna look at Peanut as like Becca's husband is just another member of the pack, and that's the problems they're having right now. She doesn't listen to him.
She doesn't listen to Peanut. So I told him, I said, you need to be a little bit more hands-on with the training. So maybe, you know, he's going to come to school with us on Tuesday. But it's not just during the class, it's throughout the week. Try to do it like 2 or 3 times a day. Keep the training sessions very short, like 10, no more than 15 minutes. You know, but she's been great. So for everybody in the chat, she's been doing great.
Well, Lucy gave the signal it's time to start reading cards. She cleared out.
Okay.
So breaking news, Ron DeSantis pulled out of the race.
Yeah.
He had laid off a bunch of people in Nevada from his campaign that he announced today. So is he pulling out just because he can't raise enough funds? Because he came in second in Iowa. Iowa.
Having a moment.
Didn't even make it through the New Hampshire primaries. Why is he pulling out now?
Okay, DeSantis's exit.
And he endorsed Trump after bashing him all through the debate.
Yeah, I think we all knew he was going to take a dive.
I forget what it is Trump calls him.
Desanctimonious, and it's a boring.
Meatball Ron, right?
Meatball Ron, that's the one. Meatball Ron.
Yeah. Oh, look. I'm getting so sick of this card. Can I start, Jen?
Yeah, absolutely.
It doesn't matter what I'm reading on, who I'm reading on. I keep getting the 2 of Pentacles. I'm going to take it out of my pack, I think, just see what else the cards have to say. They're all getting it. They're just not feeling stable, because they're backing this maniac one way or another, and everyone is getting this. I think that the issue is his wife, and that's probably a question in itself. Is she going to run for governor or something else? I think she was behind this. It's time. It was pretty obvious. Why would you want to go through the ritual humiliation because probably next time Nikki Haley would bump him off by a few points. It's time. And no, he's not happy. He thought he'd do better than he did. Yeah. That's it for me.
What you getting, Johnny?
So I think the momentum, Knight of Swords, and the Emperor, the Trump-ish person had the momentum. And so for DeSantis, his wife ruined his campaign. There's the devil and the Queen of Wands. And so he's...
Yeah, interesting.
Someone in the chat said that his wife's eyebrows attacked him. That's what
The Emperor has momentum and his wife ruined his campaign. There's some sort of offer, though, not necessarily VP or anything, but Ace of Pentacles, Knight of Cups. Someone offered him something hollow and shallow, and he took it.
Just like him.
Mhm.
Maybe he didn't like his classes on how to smile.
He got a participation effort on that one, too.
What'd you get, Vicky?
Well, it's interesting because the first card that came up was the Queen of Swords. And I thought, I wonder if that's his wife. And then Lena says it's his wife. So I was like, well, I must have been right. I feel as though like he wasn't really going anywhere. And I think he just honestly couldn't take losing to Nikki Haley in New Hampshire. It was too much for his male ego.
Yeah.
Honestly.
That makes sense. I asked why did he drop out? I got the Fox, the Lilies, the Dog, Book, and Scythe. Someone that works with him that gives him counsel knows something, and they don't want that something getting out. Because there's a secret or something quiet, and then it gets revealed here. So there's something going on. He was advised by someone senior in the campaign work. There's an advisor. These two people guide or are mentors of some sort. I don't get the wife. This is the King of Spades. So this would be more like a male person, but there's something shady going on, perhaps in some work that he did or was doing while he was governor, that they don't want that coming out. So
it's interesting because he's going to get a lot of attention on something else here, and he knows he's out in the cold from the votes. But somebody talked to him about something else that's getting ready to come out to America. This is my card for America. He's about to get major illumination on something that he's done while he's been the governor, something he worked on. And it's going to cause him all kinds of problems and chaos. I think it has to do with like where some of his money has come from. For a while, I get it's going to put him in defense mode. I get there will be like DOJ or somebody coming after him. And he's using the excuse of I'm moving on because Trump's going to have the nomination. So I think it has to do with money. Interesting.
I think there was some issue with money in the campaign, and I remember at the very beginning of the campaign something came up and then it gets hushed, or then everything else happens and you can't remember what it was. Yeah.
In the comments, Joyce says it could be the COVID money he stole.
That sounds about right.
Well, there's a bunch of other stuff too, isn't there, Lena and Jenny, where besides the COVID money, all the lawsuits that the taxpayers are paying for that he keeps losing because he was trying to just drum up manufactured, stuff to put his name out there, but it's costing all the taxpayers all this money. So
all the money for shipping immigrants to Martha's Vineyard and lawsuits over the school book bans and everything. Yeah, he's costing taxpayers a lot.
The fight with Mickey Mouse. That's last
week.
And I think one of the people that he fired because they were too progressive, they won their suit. I don't remember.
The AG won the appeal.
The what is it? The AG that he fired, even though he was voted in by the voters, he kicked him out of the job. You know,
Yeah.
so yeah, he's going to be in a world of trouble.
Well, speaking of funds and things, Trump's lawyer, Joey Taco Penis, as I call him, Taco Pina, dropped out of the hush money case in New York in representing Trump. And it says that it was a moral decision for him. It's like, come on, you have worked with Trump for years. You suddenly got some morals. Come on.
Yeah.
Why is he dropping off the case? Is Trump not paying him?
Yeah. And don't you hate it? I'm sure we're really over it. These people who lick his boots for years and then go, oh, he's such a bad guy. Yeah.
Somebody who
I'd
needs
love
that
one
many
of them,
lawyers.
just one of them, to say it while they're still in the job, then resign. You know?
Nobody can do that. Not even Pence, but he almost got hung.
Isn't that what Michael Cohen did? Kind of.
Yeah, he's made a whole career, at least in groveling and apologizing through the books, and now he's got a whole new life.
Yes.
But if he hadn't been caught, he'd probably still be in car parks
That's right,
intimidating
yeah.
single mothers, right?
Yep.
He's having to keep, security and everything too. Anybody that, tries to help just, take Trump down, they end up having to have more security and stuff.
Yeah, for sure.
But Joey Taco Penis, why did he quit?
And Deborah says in the comments, even the generals didn't have the stones to actually do it. And that's a good point.
I think the generals have a whole different perspective, though. Like, they're supposed to be like following orders, right? So there's something about the military has a different, like, I think, perspective on it. I can't really speak to it because I'm not in the military, but
yeah, but there's a line though. If you're giving an unlawful order, it doesn't matter if it comes from the commander in chief. You don't follow it. You know what I'm saying? And a lot of crap that Trump did were unlawful orders.
Yeah.
Like when he sent the helicopters and the people to gas the protesters in DC so he can go take a photo op. Was it Milley? Who was the general that was there?
Yeah,
really, I think.
Was it Milley? That
And
was
Espy was there maybe too.
They were like, what the hell? Like, they didn't even know that was going on, so, and that's unlawful to use the military like that against civilians. So, I mean, I don't even know.
I take your point, Vicky. In general life, they have their own codes and systems and hierarchies for all this, but everything crossed 100 lines, not just a little bit of something you didn't like. All that stuff. Remember, he wouldn't allow the transcripts from meetings with the Israelis and everybody.
The Russians.
That was the point when the military should have actually done something,
But it's funny too because the hush money case, you got Michael Cohen who's already served 3 years for the same thing. So it's like you did it. How are you going to fight this case?
Yeah.
What are you guys getting? Who wants to go?
I got money and hard work and then oppression. And then it dawned on him that he wasn't going to get paid.
Yeah.
What you getting, Lena?
Well, he put up with it for so long, 9 of Wands. They delude themselves that they can make a difference with this guy, right? Because then there's the moon card, But things just this is the Chariot, got uglier. It accelerates, doesn't it, in this sort of scenario? Things that weren't good got worse and worse very quickly. And he decided to cut his losses with this 5 of Pentacles. I think he was partially paid, probably to keep him on board. He was paid 1 or 2 payments out of 10, and then thought, you know what, I'm out of here. So I'm going to say partial payments, but just wanted to get out from under.
Getting Johnny.
So, the Six of Pentacles and the Chariot, they were not on the same page or the same team. There was something wrong with. There's something wrong with your brain if you think you're going to be on the same team as the cat you're trying to herd. Okay, this is not. Yeah, you're chasing him, not the other way around. Buddy.
Yeah.
But he's can't get the information from Trump that he needs. He can't get Trump to stay on topic. Can't get Trump to stay on message. Can't get Trump to stay out the headline. Can't get Trump to do anything except be Donald Trump. And that's not a good thing when you're trying to be a lawyer, because you have the worst client in the world. There's the Four of Wands and the Two of Pentacles. There's something wrong in the office too. Again, the Two of Pentacles, that juggling, trying to keep everything in the air in the midst of chaos is very hard to do when you have chaos as a client. There's something wrong with his money. The Five of Pentacles, I don't think he got paid very much, or if at all. Or there was something wrong or something missing or something lacking, and it's not just info. There was also something that he could not continue to defend, the Seven of Wands and the Tower.
Wow.
Again, the Tower, if you trace it back, you will see where you went wrong. And where you went wrong was taking this job in the first place. Because Donald Trump should be easy to defend if he did nothing wrong.
Yeah.
You don't need immunity if you did nothing wrong.
Yeah.
Word of warning, Ace of Swords. Everything's a lie, and now you know it. And so what do you do? How do you spin this? He's not creative enough. This is not Tacopina's strong suit. It ends in the Nine of Wands. All of this has become too much.
Yeah.
And so he broke, which good for you and bad for you at the same time, because you should have known better to begin with. And at least you know better now. Hopefully.
What you getting, Becca?
I got the Child, the Key, the Bouquet, the Woman in the Book. Why did he drop out? I'm gonna say because he's looking at that clown over there, Alina Habba, and what they're doing to Eugene Carroll and everybody else, and he's going, I want nothing to do with this. I get no money cards at all. I mean, a little late for that though. Any lawyer that is defending him, you've pretty much put a nail in your career. Like, you're done.
Yeah.
Your credibility is done, you know? So, and like all we're saying, he doesn't pay. So look at Rudy Giuliani. The guy's, he's got his own defense attorneys for committing crimes on behalf of Trump. He didn't get paid. So that's what I get.
Consider yourself lucky, Tacopina, that you don't need a lawyer as of right now, because all the rest of them do.
Yeah. Because I get he's done and he's toast, and here he is on his moral high ground.
Yeah.
But he's out in the cold. He knows he's already lost it. He's too burdened by this case, and he's like, no, yeah, I'm just going to retire and pull out of this. Something changed, big change, I think, in the court documents, messaging, like discovery. In the discovery phase of it, and he knew, like, this isn't over with. There's going to be more. It's going to transition into something else that made him very, very nervous. So I get that they're looking into something else Trump lied about. It's just a matter of time before that comes out, and there's going to be illumination on more secrets going on. And he's like just turning his back on it. He's like, I'm running. I got to get out of here. So something else is going to come out because of something in discovery I'm getting.
Yep, that would explain Woman in Book. And it was a Bouquet, Woman in Book. Something that was offered that was very significant to a woman he knows about it. There's a secret around it. So, but like Johnny said, consider yourself lucky. You're the only one that doesn't need an attorney right now.
It would be easy to defend if he did nothing wrong.
I think the funniest one was Epstein and the E. Jean Carroll case, got up to say something. The judge was like, "Excuse me, like, are you a judge here? Like, are you authorized, or are you a lawyer here in New York?" He's not authorized to practice law in New York, and he's sitting there and trying to speak, and he's like, "Hold on, you can't talk." These guys are just ridiculous. So the judge was really trying to educate Alina Habba on how to be a lawyer.
How do you submit evidence?
Oh my God.
And not
how
just
you
that,
conduct
but she's come out and said she'd rather be pretty than be smart.
Yeah. And that's
fake
probably
news.
just as well, because she's certainly not smart.
I mean, beauty fades. We get old. Shit happens, like.
Judge beauty fades, dominant forever. That's what she says. That's her tagline. And
That's right.
You can fake being smart.
we don't. It's not a badge of honor.
Being beautiful too.
So the judge taught her 14 lessons about how to be a lawyer.
Yeah.
How does Trump think she's doing as a lawyer for him?
That's an interesting question, isn't it?
Now here's
Trump
the
got ejected.
One of the interviewers she had somewhere out in the world, they said, "Do you believe you would be Donald Trump's lawyer if you were not pretty?"
Mm-hmm. Okay, and what did she say?
Maybe he doesn't care. But what do you look like without CoverGirl and Maybelline?
Mm-hmm.
Big boobs in a low-cut dress at Mar-a-Lago.
Bless her heart.
So the question is, what does he think about her? Yeah,
For the job that she's doing, because he's been running his mouth sitting there at the table, and the judge almost ejected him from the courtroom.
And then he was sitting there talking back, like, "Yeah, I'd love for you to do that." Like he's just. Tell me, in what reality would any of us would be able to talk back to a judge like that and not be apprehended or fined?
He's loud enough that the jury can hear him.
Here's the thing too, because we've got to assume Trump. He'd love to be evicted because he gets bored easily anyway. He'd love to be evicted and then be a martyr. I would like to see where he's put behind a perspex thing. He's still in court, but it's soundproofed.
Yeah.
He'd be clawing at the glass.
Put him in a skiff.
Without the classified documents, because he could steal them or eat them.
Seriously.
I think he believes she's too expensive. Well, not too expensive, but that she costs money. There's the Ace of Pentacles and the Five of Pentacles, that opportunity to take something away, to have that money. The Ten of Swords and the Page of Pentacles. Like, he's got the worst cards attached to the money card. So it's like he has this she costs money thing. But there's the Page of Swords and the Star. She's a really good liar, is how he feels. Because mind you, that's what he likes. The Sarah Huckabee Sanders and all these type of people who would stand up and lie for him, especially if they're female for whatever reason.
Yeah.
But he likes that part because they're on the same page with the Chariot card here and the Knight of Wands. They're on the same page. He believes she's doing a good job when it comes to that. He does not see that the case is not going in the right direction. He sees that she stays on message.
Yeah.
That's what he cares about.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I get the same thing here. These three cards go together. I only pull three cards. Judgment, meaning his cases and everything that's going ahead. She's not afraid of burning the house down, and she's not, oh God, I hate StreamYard for this. And she's not afraid of talking back to judges. He loves it.
Yeah. Yeah.
It's not about the legal fine print. She's doing her job for him.
It's all one big TV show. That's all it is.
Absolutely.
That's
Thank
all
you,
it is.
Alice. What'd you get, Vicky?
I got the same thing. I think he thinks she's doing a bang up job because she's doing exactly what he wants her to do. And it's not gonna be good for her because this is gonna ruin her. But he doesn't give a crap about that. Plus, I think she's pretty and he likes that. And I think he likes having women take his lead, I guess, or listen to him, because every other woman is. And I mean, I was thinking the other day, wouldn't it be great to put like all the women who are taking down Trump and just like line them up, and see,
All of them are named Nancy Pelosi, apparently. So,
Yeah. When in doubt, just call her Nancy.
Yeah, there you go. Nancy knew.
What you getting, Becca?
I get that he's very happy with her being a bootlicker, staying on message, the performance itself.
Yep.
Only a
Happy days.
bootlicker, Becca. Just the bootlicker. Okay, never mind.
Yeah,
I didn't say it.
dog here. So the what do you call a female dog? He likes that aspect because it plays well to the base and the 15 people that care. He doesn't like the fact that she's losing.
Yeah.
The case against him with E. Jean Carroll, it's already done. There's no way him or her can spin it. It's a loss. And for Alina Habba, she ultimately loses something. So whether that's her law license, whether she keeps getting sanctioned, whether there's some way to discipline her or send her in for disciplinary action, she loses in the end with the mice. So, but he doesn't care. It's all about the performance to try to change the narrative regardless of the facts. So that's what I get.
That's how he's lived his life.
Yeah.
It's all about him. Like he thinks he's his own lawyer, that he gives advice, of how to run my court. So he thinks he's his own lawyer. She's a lot of fun to sleep with. That's why he looks at it.
Look at Johnny's face.
She's a lot of fun.
Right?
But he knows. He's anxious because he knows this is going to end, poorly. That he's lost the case. He knows that. He just wants to drum up emotional support and strength, so he thinks she's good at that. Help him win the
she's
election.
not good at anything. Like, just stop. Like, just watch out, please.
Well, will he use her bad lawyering as an excuse in appeals court?
Oh yeah, let's look at that. That has to be fascinating. I'm inspired by Vicky. I'm going to get my Toff cards.
Use Alina Habba's bad lawyering as an excuse in the appeals court.
Oh God.
Yeah, that defense is going to get a workout, isn't it? I mean,
Two of Wands, 10 of Pentacles. There's a plan there within the system to blame someone's incapability or capability. The Magician and the 8 of Swords. How someone was limited and restricted and powerless and things of that nature. So it sounds like it to me, or he'll blame, she'll be a part of the blame. Because there is something else there too, the Knight of Pentacles and the 3 of Cups, like something being unfair, or like the information submitted was tainted, or blame the jury pool, like blame some little community here too. So it's not just her, but she's definitely a part of it, because you have the person, magician, skill, power, talent, limited, powerless, restricted. So yes.
Get Vicky.
I think I'm not sure if it was his initial idea, but I think it's come to him that this might be something he can do. We have Ruin, the Knight of Cups, the 7 of Illusion, Delusion, the 7 of Cups, But then we have peace or stalemate and prudence. So it looks to me like I think he'll do it, but I don't think that was the initial reason. I think the initial reason was just that she would do exactly what he said. But I think he could use it or try to use it anyway.
But later. What you getting, Lena?
Well, weirdly, I got the card of worry, and I thought for a moment it meant he was worried by all this, but his psychological profile is so weird and so limited and so childlike. I don't think he actually worries. I think he has stress, but to worry, you have to sort of think about things, and I don't think he can. So I think it's her. Even though she's coming out with all this dolly bravado, I think she's beginning to realize her relationship with Trump, I'll just leave it at that, could be, lawyer-client, but whatever. This card is called lust. Her relationship has led her into a situation where she has to keep going. She has to keep attacking. She can't actually use any other maneuvers. And she sort of, I think, this is the High Priestess card, there's a little bit more to her than I thought. Not a lot, but there's a little bit more to her, who's trying to do the math now. Is it worth losing my law license? Maybe it is. I've got a lot of coverage. I'll have an Instagram following of 2 million. I think she's doing those calculations now.
But
So
you
it's
get
sort of
Housewives of Reject City. She can do that.
yeah.
What you getting, Johnny?
Oh, I'm rent already.
Oh, that's right. I think he's kind of pondering it. I think he's kind of thinking about, I could use that as an excuse. He doesn't know where he's going. He kind of flies off the seat of his pants, so to speak. But he's hopeful that he'll have support, for in time, to do an appeal, Trump at the root of this. But he's the one in charge, so he's the one that's made all the decisions. I think he thinks, all the people that have partnered with him on his legal defense, all his contracted lawyers and everything, that he can go after and appeals for that reason. There may be something about confusion too, like that he wasn't thinking clearly or had bad legal advice or mentally not all there, that kind of thing, that he may use also for appeals.
Yeah.
Like,
and for someone who's had so many law cases, usually people like that actually start to get a bit of a sense of how the law works. I don't think he ever has. His instruction, no matter what the case is, stall and get me out of this. That's what I'm paying you for. They're not talking strategy or anything. It's this really primitive mindset,
Thank you, Carolyn.
What you were saying, Johnny, you can't work with him as a client,
So the replacement for George Santos special election is February 13th in New York.
February 13th, soon.
Yeah, the Republican running is Mozzie, is it Phillips or Phillip or something, Pilip? The Dem is Tom Suozzi, who served before, so they have had a Dem that served. Are we going to see a Republican or a Democratic winner in the George Santos replacement? Because
okay, great. The Santos
take down the majority lead in the House by another point.
Yeah.
We're getting you have an echo. I don't hear the echo. Are we echoing? Everybody say.
I hear an echo.
I don't hear it.
I'm not hearing an echo so much as a background noise. Or maybe it's
I'm hearing a background noise, like a TV on or something.
Yeah.
doesn't go away when I mute, so I don't think it's at me. It may be a little bit of a echo. It's just really low.
Do you hear it now?
I hear it when Jen Lynn talks.
Okay,
So-
I'll just mute and see if it's me.
Okay, somebody talk. Anybody hearing it?
I don't hear it now. No.
I'm not hearing it either.
Is mine echoing?
No.
Must be me. Or
Somebody else talk when Alina's still on. No.
Usually it's caused by when the microphone is a little too close to your speaker. It'll pick up when somebody else is talking.
Ah.
I don't hear it now. Maybe it was just a conductivity issue.
Well,
Yeah.
because when I talk, I can hear my voice through Jen's speaker. So I turned off the echo canceling, and so maybe that's why. But there was only on my microphone, so I don't know why everybody else was echoing.
That's very high tech, Johnny. Well done.
It's in the StreamYard. Like you could turn off the echo canceling.
I've forgotten the question in all this. What are we doing? Oh, the replacement for George Santos.
Yeah,
Right.
Republican or
Oh,
Democrat.
yeah.
So if you want to ask it this way, will Tom Suozzi, I can't say his name, Suozzi, he's the Dem running. Will he
Well,
win?
that's all. 10 of Cups is my card for Democrats. So I'll go with that.
Mm-hmm. Well, I get there. I think we've got the moon here. So inevitably, I think there'll be some cloudiness. So that says to me with this wedding card that the Dem will get in. But of course, the Republicans won't be able to handle that, and it'll be another stolen election scenario. Queen of Cups here, I think she'll slam the lid on the cups and just go, look, suck it up, get on with it. Someone there. So
I'm getting the
I'm
Dem secures it. I'm getting there's a new action and a change in the government. So that tells me it's going to flip from Republican to Democrat. Good news card, which also cups for me are Dems. I get the House.
Oh, you got the wedding card too.
Has a loss in the structure. So I get we go up a seat in the House.
Wow.
I think the Dem's gonna win. I got the two of cups, and for the Republican, I got the nine of swords. Cruelty.
Wow. Okay. Wayne LaPierre, his brain is shrinking, which is a thing. Johnny sent this to me. I had to Google it. It's like, do brains shrink? And it's like, yes, they shrink.
Yeah.
And that can be a cause of dementia and Alzheimer's and other things. So his lawyer said he can't sit in his trial all day, that because his brain is shrinking.
Johnny.
Something like that, maybe.
So I want to know, is it
Is it a real issue for Wayne LaPierre, or is he?
Or are you just scared of Letitia James? Is that what it is? The big bad wolf.
And what is this trial about? I've forgotten. There's so much going on.
Fraud in the
fraud,
NRA.
that's right. Big fraud for years. Yeah. Let's have a look. Yeah.
So you can't sit. Maybe he needs to take Trump's mentality test. Trump said the other day, "What's a whale?"
Woman TV phone camera.
He's got a new one. There's apparently a whale on his new one. What's a whale?
There's the cognitive test that Trump was bragging like it was an IQ test. That one.
Yeah, that's right. And it wasn't an IQ.
Meanwhile, everybody's Nancy Pelosi or Barack Obama.
That's right.
Or Nikki Haley, right?
Yes.
Didn't he just say Nikki Haley?
He
What
said
did
Nikki Haley.
Yeah,
was-
what
Oh,
was that
Nikki
about?
Haley
Nikki
didn't
Haley.
get the cops to the Capitol.
Yeah, yeah.
Confused her with Pelosi.
Nikki Haley wasn't in the administration at that
No,
time. He was
No.
gone already.
no.
You've got to love this on some level. His people are still defending, this out and out stuff, Wow. Next, he'll say he wants to be president of Saudi Arabia.
Do you
Well,
remember
he did speak to the president of the Virgin Islands once. So it's like,
Do y'all remember when he tried to buy, what was it, Iceland or Greenland?
Greenland.
He
Greenland, I
wanted to
think.
buy Greenland
Yeah. And get
because,
the
like,
oil.
that's a thing.
Yeah. Thanks.
buy some common sense. Start there. That's what you can do. Is his brain shrinking? I mean, again, like
Yes.
this kind of where we are, where we start. Anyway, the Knight of Wands and the Page of Swords, no, that's a lie, so that he can try to gain control or progress out of something. The Five of Wands and the Seven of Cups, no, he's just kind of trying to gaslight, throw confusion so that there can be disagreements. It ends in the Devil, so again, no. This is a scheme, a scam, and trying to get away with something. Your brain was big enough to steal. It's big enough
Yes,
to
that's right.
testify. Thank you very much.
Sit there in your expensive suits and
You stole from the NRA, so you better have a brain big enough to figure your way out of that one, buddy.
Yeah.
I started with the Tower, so I think it dawned on him that he had to come up with something. Then I got Virtue, the Queen of Discs. That's the money that he stole. The Eight of Wands, things coming at him very quickly, and then the Moon, lunacy. So I think he's just saying this stuff just to get out of it, but I don't think he's going to get out of it.
How come Trump didn't think of that one? I would have believed that one. My brain is shrinking. I didn't do any of it.
what
I
you
don't
get,
believe
Alina?
Well, this was quite interesting. I thought I got the Page and Knight of Discs, meaning money and things around that. So my first impression was exactly that. But it's a boy who cried wolf in the sense that this was the strategy, but swords of the intellect, then the death card, the death to the intellect, because of interference. Right. So it's like ironic. I think he's not that far down the tubes. They're faking it with these, with these other cards, but it's actually happening as well.
Right. He's creating his reality.
Yeah. Kind
Be
of
careful what
weird.
you wish for, right?
Exactly. Wow.
I
I better
Getting
start
worse.
saying more nice things.
What'd you get, Becca?
No, it's a delay tactic, but it gets, it doesn't work. It gets resolved. It's a form of delay or obstruction.
Yeah.
Yeah, I get, he's off living his celebrity lifestyle or whatever. He's having a dark night of the soul and was coming up with something new in how to structure this case. And he thought, the image of him being bullied, his brain, being bullied would help. It's like, nope, he is not going through big changes. He's worried about going away for all that money and all the work and manipulations that he did. So he's a thief. He's a thief worried about going to jail.
So what exactly
and
did he
they're
do?
paving the sorry, Becca.
I was just going to ask really quickly, what was it exactly that he did? Did he embezzle money from the NRA? Like, is that what he did? He was
Fraud.
embezzling?
Fraud.
Basically.
And
He's
here's
got
the thing, I think
rugs
his
and-
defense team are paving the way for when he gets sentenced, if they can get it across the line that, oh, he's an old man and he's on the way out, he'll get a lesser sentence. So it's sort of part of a long strategy.
It's just insane to me how these wealthy old people can commit a decade's worth of crime and then, oh, but I'm so old, take pity on me, don't throw me. Like, no.
Maybe he'll be a cellmate for Rudy.
Oh, that would be great. That would be great.
He is going to have mental problems because you just manifested it, buddy. So it's coming to you. Be careful what you wish for, as they say.
And imagine those two playing dominoes and stuff. You know, half the pieces would be hidden down their underpants.
Where'd you get that one from? What you mean?
How come you've got 6 pawns? You know?
That's a mess.
Trump went to Melania's mom's funeral. Becca, feel free to impersonate Melania all you want here. This is a great question. They used separate cars returning from the funeral. Like he was in one SUV and she was in another one. What's going on there? Like they weren't even riding together at the funeral. You know, he's trying to stand by her. She's like this, like she's not going to touch his hand or anything.
No, it's long gone. Does anyone think they're remotely together?
Does she not even want to ride in the same car with him? You know, they have Secret Service here. Does he not want to ride in the same car with him because he smells? What's going on there? It was only a week ago that Trump smells was trending on Twitter for at least a week.
Yeah, it hung around, you know. And after all the years of misinformation and all of that, there's this sort of rash, I was going to say, of problems. And whether they're true or not, it doesn't matter. Why not just throw a bit of stuff out there, you know?
Well, it's funny, like Melania did a eulogy, but Trump didn't. It's like, you know, he loves to talk. Was she afraid that he'd get up there and do a campaign speech at her mom's funeral?
Because he would have.
And he would have. She wouldn't be dead if I was president. I mean, who knows what he would have said.
He blamed his mother-in-law's cooking for why Barron's so tall. He is so jealous that Barron's taller than him.
Oh, yeah, he hates it.
Mother-in-law's cooking. Why didn't his mother?
Hey, at least the kid had his mother-in-law cooking because you know his mom didn't do it.
Yeah, for sure.
She eats gerbil pellets. What does she know about food?
He was only 2 or 3 years younger than her mother, you know. She married somebody her mother's age.
I don't get, maybe they weren't going to the same place. Maybe she's not going back where because they got the 4 wands and the magician. There's something around maybe the destination of where they were going. It just wasn't the same. Because there's 7 of cups, king of cups, lovers. She's going to be with some guy here, maybe her father or something. I'll say that, father. But I don't think they were going to the same place. And he's Captain Confused as of right now, lately. And so I don't think they were going to the same place.
She actually rode with her father.
Okay.
I'm just going to be petty and say that she didn't want to ride with him because he stinks.
Petty.
There's the storks, the bouquet, the tree, and then we got the cross and the rider. So like maybe he went a little bit ham on the bronzer and the makeup to make himself look pretty and healthy, and it's kind of very difficult to deal with it, so she couldn't get away fast enough.
You smell like a horse. A horse that ate a fork.
You smell like a horse saw. A horse saw. How about that?
Yeah. Oh, these are the Deviant Moon cards. This is how she sees him, and she didn't trust his tongue, because this is the card of ruthlessness, right? What he would say to people. This is her, okay, going, I don't want to see you again. I don't want to speak to you again. You are dead to me. And this is how she really feels.
Drunk, throwing bottles over.
Like the Republican Rapunzel or something.
Yeah, it's very Rapunzel card, isn't it, Bliss? I love it.
She's like, there's not enough wine in this world.
That's right.
When the question was asked, the first thing that came into my head was, "Stay away from me, you stink." That was one. That was the first thing that came into my head.
Interesting.
She's just done. She's over this. She's
Yeah.
over. She's done. She's tired. He's a lazy ass. He doesn't do what he says. Happiness is over. The sun has gone down. She's just done with him. And I can't imagine that he was all that empathetic to the loss of her mother. I mean, I don't think he has the capacity to be somebody who you can depend, that's going to take into consideration that you just lost your mother.
No,
I mean, that's a traumatic thing for anybody, except maybe for Trump. I
Yeah.
don't know.
he's completely incapable of it.
But no surprises. She chose him out of all the bullying, narcissistic, unattractive, misogynistic, wealthy men in the world. Lots of them. She chose him.
Yeah.
Or she was chosen.
Sympathy, doodah,
She
sympathy.
could have been chosen for him too.
Yeah.
Either way, that's, you have the option to leave him at any point. You got a prenup, post-nup, all the nups. You don't have to still be there, but you are. There's something that you're digging, and you continue to dig. You're a gold digger, and everything that you get, you deserve to have. Thank you very much.
She, like I said, she went digging for gold. She hit the sewer line.
Yeah, that's right. She dug up the pipes.
I guess
No
she's
doubt.
turned her back on the whole family.
Yeah.
She thinks she's better than them. That she stands on higher ground, and she's protecting her lifestyle because all these court cases going on with him. I think he had been drinking. I always get he drinks also, and she's like, "Yeah, no, I'm going to ride over here. I'm not sharing the car with you." Things have changed a lot around him, and for her, it's like a job if she has to look like she's supporting him. But when she's home, she's like nowhere to be seen around him. So I think we just saw by them separating in cars, just like she is at home. She's nowhere near him.
And
I do
she's
think
just as nasty as him.
she's just
Yeah,
somebody else.
exactly. I
So
have never had a moment's good vibe from Melania. You know.
Because bear in mind that at the funeral, I'm pretty sure he was not the paragon of emotion for her. Before the funeral, while she was ill, I should say, he was at his New Year's party having a funky good time with the child's husband, the woman who was ill. Her dad was there too, so much for that. And then he wants to use the funeral as an excuse not to go to court. And
Yes,
so
truly ridiculous.
A court that he didn't need to be present in, that he
Yeah.
almost got ejected from. That he would love to get ejected
publicity,
from.
that's all he cares about, not people. Publicity.
Yeah, I mean, he truly, doesn't get people on any level.
And when you talk about your son, it's something negative or how tall he is. Okay, say something positive about how tall he
he
is.
doesn't even know his name.
No,
Boy 3.
yeah,
Speaking of Trump smells, Walter Nauta, who's a defendant down in the stolen documents case, along with Trump, he's supposedly Trump's valet, and every time you see a picture of Trump, he's like right by him. Is he repulsed by the smells? Like, he's his valet. Is he having to help him change clothes? And does he know Trump smells? What does Nauta think of Trump's
what is now to think of Trump now?
physical hygiene?
There
He
you go.
smells dead, I guess.
Like something died in him.
And he feels like he's sacrificing for something, the good. I guess sacrificing for the
Oh,
good.
you get the
And he
tip.
keeps
good
going,
God, now
go
I
take
get
a
it.
shower.
Get Becca with the coffin there.
The mice and coffin. He smells like something dead and decomposing.
What the hell?
And he smells like the devil.
He's crossed over to the other side. May he rest in peace.
Oh my God. I don't even know what the answer to that is, but there's
It smells like death and decomposing rats or something, you know, like.
No, and look, if you're that close to the man, he'd have to be at least paid quite a bit, like unlike the lawyers. So maybe, you know how they do in mortuaries? They have those little plugs that have peppermint or something in them.
Mhm.
That you put,
Vicks vapor rub up his nose.
yeah,
and-
the Vicks.
You get used to the smell, though. I mean, you do get used to the smell. It's like you
Oh,
just put it
sure.
out here.
no
You know,
blindness.
people work in abattoirs, you know, like that. Oh.
Mercy.
Roger Stone video or audio released where he was trying to sick the peanut butter boys, as we call them, on Nader and Swalwell. And Swalwell is like in shock, like he didn't realize he was going to be targeted to be unalived. Is he going to be looking at some consequences with DOJ? Is he going to have some legal consequences?
So, Roger Stone, will there be legal consequences? God, they.
For threatening someone's life?
Yeah. Yeah.
I think the FBI and Capitol Police are investigating him right now. But I think we read on this last week. I'm going to sit this question out because I
Okay.
remember my read from last week and what I got, that he was just gossiping about it. And then I got Ring and Scythe. No agreement was made. So as far as that part, no. But there might be other technicalities for something that was broader, because I remember I got the stars, the Fox, and something else. It was a broader conspiracy. So the negotiating and talking, because there was not an agreement made for that, no. But I'm going to stick with that. I'll be glad to see it be wrong because I despise that man. But
I forgot we read on that last week. What you getting, Vicky?
I got no. I don't think he's going to be held accountable. I got luxury, love. I think there's other stuff going. If he's going to get caught, it's going to be around money. I don't think, I think he just talks the game, right? Not that I don't think he wouldn't do it, but I don't think it actually was a thing.
And
he didn't pay anybody to do it, right? So
yeah,
he didn't.
And I think and also in the eyes of the law, because I have seen it since we read on it. I think it was Andrew Wiseman, I believe, that as abhorrent and disgusting as that is, because it was only mentioned, it was never discussed in detail, and no agreement was made. Legally, they can't do anything.
Right.
So I think that's what I heard him say. I'm not sure.
And I asked a different question to just put another spin on it, which was, will Swalwell or anyone else sue them individually? Right. And I did a bigger spread because it kept on coming out. King and Queen of Swords. Like, I think some of them individually are thinking, I'm not being protected by the system, but this is, I think, further out. This isn't next week. This is, could even be after the election. And because there will be a serious threat that will change the dial. There will be another attack or another something. And then I think one or more will start insisting on, because the sun, always illuminates, but on some level protects. And this is a much bigger issue. So I think, not going to happen this time. They just get away with it again and again. But there's got to be an end game to judicial people, Congress people, everyone being routinely threatened now. So we'll see.
Yeah, I get there's an abundance of things they're going to look into with him, but it's like his dark stuff with the peanut butter boys. Yeah, I think I said it was the peanut butter boys. It wasn't the peanut butter boys he was talking to. It was that former cop from New York that was his bodyguard or something.
Oh, yeah.
So I do get there's going to be investigations on other things.
Yeah. McCarrick, is that the one? Or no? McCarrick?
I think so. I think that's who it was, Vicky. I'm not sure though.
Strength and planning and people that he talked to, around January 6th. So the planning of January 6th, he's going to get in more trouble for.
Yeah.
So I'm not getting anything on the threatening to unalive somebody. I'm getting more of the January 6th stuff.
Mm-hmm.
I didn't pull cards since we did that one. But I did the crystals. There's an avalanche of stuff coming, or as you said, the abundance of information coming in. This is about something else, though. There's also a connection to someone with something to do with space, so maybe Elon or something like that. There's something here about stars, so I'm thinking Starlink or something like that. There's something there. So some information or some sort of case or something comes from there too. So this could also indicate, since it's Elon, maybe his Twitter is going to be used as evidence. So maybe all of his past tweets or something like that. Something does come to a head where that is established as evidence. And I know they have done that before, where like Jack Smith said, give me all of Donald Trump's tweets and all that kind of stuff. Or anybody that's ever tweeted about Jan 6. And so I'm pretty sure he was one of those people. So there's something coming from possibly Twitter or something like that too. There's something here too around the subway or something that goes under the ground. So like the subway. I don't know if there is some sort of crimes that are committed or something that's moved underground, but it's via like the subway, something literally like that. And there's something that's constantly moved from one place to another, like in boxes or something. That is going to be found, but this is like way down the line. This is not going to be found because they're searching for something for him. It's something that he's connected to somebody else, and then he gets implicated. But that's what I get. I don't get as far as like this threatening thing, but he does have a bunch of stuff he's connected to. That part.
Underground, like subway or tunnels or something like that. Thank you, Hope.
You know what I thought when you said subway and underground? I thought maybe encrypted. It might be something that's encrypted and secret.
That makes sense, especially with that whole Starlink connection too. In the computer and the satellite and the computer and the technology and all that.
Yeah. And I just heard encrypt.
That makes sense too. There's a bunch of that though. Whatever it is, it's a whole bunch of it.
Okay.
And it moves in packets like boxes.
Yeah, okay.
Well, good for him.
So, are we going to see this spring either target letters or indictments from Jack Smith for any members of Congress?
Yes, let's ask that. Oh, which deck to use?
There could be target letters or they could go straight to indictments, since he's had a grand jury already.
I get a no. I get more interviews with people that were meeting with allies of his, of 45s, people that were talking on the phone, people that were going to meetings. These are people that are protectors and advisors, so perhaps members of the House or that sort of thing, that were very critical of the elections, had a lot of verbal criticism against Biden. This was stolen, yada, yada. Not target letters so much as perhaps interviews with people that were at meetings or people that were on the phone or people's phones, the allies, the people that were within that network, their phones, their conversations, their meetings and interviews. That's what I get. I'm looking at you, Jim Jordan.
Well, what I think here with mine, King of Swords, Jack Smith, he's talking to the people who are talking to the people, right, with the lovers. So he's got enough information without it. So I think he's going to just hold off. I don't think he's going to necessarily subpoena someone more specifically. He's going to let them skewer themselves, if you like. You know what I mean? Almost denying them the chance to think on their feet and find a legal strategy and work their way through it and do deals and things. It's like, I know what you did. Now I'm going to reveal it at some point.
And doesn't he have a bunch of their phone records too? Like he got Scott Perry's and some other
Mark
people.
Meadows.
Mark
Well.
Meadows'
I'm sure he got
phone.
Mark Meadows and
Yeah, he's got phone records too.
so he's got the
knows.
metadata. You know. I think. What have you other guys got?
I get a big yes in the center, but it may be more around the changing the votes, and I get all this major arcana, like changing votes, securing votes for Trump, and probably like the fake electors. That's who's going to get burdened. There's some
they're
others
the ones that are in trouble.
Yeah, there's some others he's waiting on because like crowning the reading, he's not done yet. He's got more things he's working on.
I got that not yet. This is called, well, injustice or no justice right now, but there is a new beginning of some sort, and it's around money or resources. And then we have this is the high priestess. So I feel like something is going to be revealed, and it's going to be around relationships. So my personal feeling is that he just wants to try to get Trump tied to something. And once that's out of the way, I think then it's an ongoing investigation. I think these guys are going to be pooping their pants for a long time, honestly.
To address Gina, I just saw it in the comments. I did not say that I saw a woman taking Donald Trump down. I've never said that. What I did say was I saw a female getting the nomination for the Republican candidate. That was like 3 or 4 Sundays ago. But I never said that there's a woman that takes him down. That wasn't me. So
there have been a lot of readers that have said that, but y'all be careful about putting words in our mouths, please, and what you quote us on. There, everybody go.
I got 10 of swords, 7 of swords. I didn't get an answer to the question. Someone is about to get busted for something, or should I say it's going to come to a head? that's going to come. That's going to be in the news pretty soon here. 3 of Wands in the Tower, anticipation of the downfall. So there is something that's about to break. Because that's what we need, something else to talk about. So there's something that's about to break here. 10 of Swords, 7 of Swords, ending to the schemes. So someone gets busted for something that's coming up here. Death and the Hermit.
Is the Scott Perry guy, is he Senate or House?
House, I think.
He's in the House? Okay.
There is a one in the Senate, but that's the guy from Florida, right?
That's Rick Perry, yeah. He went to Melania's mom's funeral, Rick Perry. If anybody cares. I don't really care.
Oh, but what's going to happen with Aileen Cannon? Oh, God.
Let's take a look.
Yeah, because she's dragging this out.
It's obvious she keeps siding for Trump and being
and the legal eagles said at the beginning, oh, look, you know, she's being supervised or something. You know, there are watchdogs and la la la. Really? Aileen Cannon.
So I asked if she would stay on the classified documents case, and I got the ship, the mountain, and the sun. Right now, she's delaying the progress of it, and she's being able to delay it being transferred somewhere else, but eventually it's successfully transferred.
Thank God for that.
So there's a bit of a delay. I mean, but she's been delaying for months, though.
Yeah, and time's ticking, you know.
I'm getting around April, like, you know, DOJ's or Jack Smith's gonna go after her. Around April, she may have to abandon the case. I think they'll end up being a male judge put in her place. It will delay the trial. You know, so I don't think they'll complete the trial on time. You know, the May date probably will shift, but at least we'll have somebody in that's reliable. Yeah, she's gonna get separated out from that position.
Hope so. I got 4 majors out of 4. So I got the star. It's this sort of quite weird looking star in this deck. The World, the Devil, and the Tower. So I think from this, it's like at the moment she's doing her work for the devil, you know, like, and keeping it going. But the world is watching. And I mean that literally, you know, people in other countries going, it's 3 years since the insurrection. It's 3 years since the document. What is happening, you know?
What's that saying, Alina? Justice delayed is justice denied.
Exactly. You know, it's starting to look bad for the country on a different level. We deal with this stuff every day of the week, and of course we know the ins and outs. But it's too crazy if this is allowed to drift past another election. You have an insurrection in one election and you can't sort it out before 4 years goes by and you have another election. Really? You know, it's not looking good in that way, you know. Crazy town.
What you getting, Vicky?
I got her here, sitting here pretty, the Queen of Wands. I think she might be a Leo. I think she's a Leo, but I'm not sure. But she's crossed by Justice. And then underneath it, I got the 10 of Swords. So it's only a matter of time. She's done. In the past, she's been putting up, you know, fences. She seems like she's got it all together and she's in her own little world here. But then in the immediate future, I get the Ace of Swords. So it's coming down, and it's coming down soon. And I think she's going to be looking for another job. Maybe where is she from? Is she from Colombia? Maybe she'll go back to Colombia.
The thing is, she got a life appointment as a federal judge.
Yeah.
But the record right now is horrible. She's only tried 4 cases, screwed up royally on one of them. Remember, Jenny, I sent you that article? She didn't swear in the jury. She didn't give them a choice of guilty or not guilty.
Yeah.
I'm not kidding you. And then, I mean, she's not even qualified to run a traffic court at this point.
They could impeach her to have her removed, A lifetime appointment doesn't mean.
So she's only tried 4 cases and she screwed up 3 of them.
And I think they were small cases. So somewhere I read she'd only been presiding in a court for 27 hours or something.
Yeah.
Over all those cases. Like, you need to get your stripes, as a judge, just like everything else, So what it's exposing in the system is it's just these sort of gentlemen's agreements, about how things should work.
She was on the list from the Federalist Society that was handed to Mitch McConnell, and they just, like a lotto, pick a person and vote them in.
Yeah.
So she was handpicked by that society that just doesn't believe in government. So perfect.
I sort of get that bit of it, not nice, but I get it. What I don't get is, in legal terms, how is she even in the mix for the biggest case in modern America? She shouldn't have even been in the wheel that they spin. Should have only been judges with 5 years, 10 years, 20 years experience.
I think
that's the bit I don't get.
That was like on a lottery system, I think is
that's how they work it. I know.
Yeah. But considering that before she was even appointed the case, she went in and took it for herself, and that's where she got overturned twice by the 11th Circuit. And then out of some weird twist of fate, she ended up winning the lotto to take the case anyways, So can we go for 3 strikes on this one? Because, I mean, it's just like you can't possibly screw it up more.
Everything happens for a reason. So this may be to get her out, permanently, expose her for what she is.
What did you get, Johnny? I'm sorry.
Yeah, I took everyone on a tangent. Sorry.
I get nothing happens, at least for now. Her security is not secure, though. 9 of Pentacles and 3 of Swords. There will be a separation at some point from where she is over the thing that she thinks is secure, or should be secure. But right now, Emperor 9 of Wands, she's in place and staying in place for now.
And let me just remind you all that one little kid that was Air Force that got busted sharing classified information with his Discord buddies on the internet, the next day he had a freaking SWAT team outside his house to arrest him. But here's Donald Trump parading all over the country, putting judges and their staff in danger to where these people have to get extra security. He's bragging about stealing classified documents, the ones he didn't eat. Or,
agreed on.
It's just insanity at this point.
And please, everyone needs to stop saying no one's above the law, because it simply isn't true. And that's not just America. I'm putting my hand up here, Australia. If you're wealthy, you've got a much better chance of staying out of jail than if you're not. It's really quite clear. And if you're white, you've got a much better chance of staying out of jail. And so it goes on. It's a universal phenomenon, Yes.
Dan Goldman has asked for Elise Stefanik to be censured for calling the insurrectionists hostages for entertainment purposes only, YouTube. Will he be successful at getting her censured, even though the Republicans hold the House majority? Will he be successful? She's not the only one that's, Marjorie Taylor Greene calls them hostages.
So
But
it's what sort of case? Sorry, it's
Well, it was on the record, why he went after Elise Stefanik, because she did it on the
right.
House floor.
Yeah.
He has asked for her to be censured. Where Marjorie Taylor
So it's a
Greene, she
censor
says it
motion.
outside,
Yeah,
when she's doing
censor motion.
interviews.
It's so gross. I mean, it's
Oh yeah, she's
like
in trouble.
I keep saying, if any of us acted like this at our place of work, we'd be gone.
Oh.
She's
Not to
gone.
mention putting up nude photos in the House of, of Hunter Biden. And
But I thought it was Antifa in the FBI plants. I thought that's who was at Jan 6. And then it was just peaceful protesters. I thought that's who was there.
And just
How many
tourists.
stories are we going to have here?
What
Just
did
tourists.
Vicky? You got the 10 of swords and the and
Yeah,
what was
10
the
of
number?
swords, the 8 of swords. 8 of swords looks like censure to me.
Yeah,
Um,
constriction.
then the 2 of wands, 6 of pentacles. I don't know. She wouldn't have to pay a fine, right? And then we get the 10 of wands. Oops, sorry.
yeah, it's a bit tricky, isn't it, to read in that way?
Yeah.
Yeah.
I get that she will, but not until the party gets back in power. There was a lot of fighting within the party. Parties were fighting. Not until they get back to the House, not till they fight for the House will that happen.
Mhm.
Because this is popularity. So they don't have the majority. They don't have the popularity right now. So once, perhaps, I don't know if there's like a time frame where they can put something like that on hold, but it's almost like yes, but not right now because the party doesn't
Right.
have the numbers, if that makes sense.
Yeah.
I get it comes down to the votes too. It's like until Trump is out, and they get their strength, it'll be represented again. So this isn't the first time it's going to be presented. There's unfinished work here. I think later, yes, they will complete that and censure her along with there's a man they'll censure also.
Jordan? Oh, sorry.
That would
Love
be
to hear
I would
that mouth shut down. That would be awesome.
muzzle that guy. Put one of those little things that they put on dogs that shocks them.
Yeah, stop them.
Shock collar.
Trump needs that in court. He should be made to wear one of those collars when he's in court. This image is quite interesting in the sense of, if you look at this as a censor motion, the sword's being held, to make her swallow her sword sort of thing and apologize. But they won't actually do it because they agree with her. They're friends in high places, and they're doing it for the bigger cause, which is Trump, the emperor. So, yeah. Oh, sorry, I got a fourth card, which is maybe in the future. She might get a behind the scenes smack now, but I don't think just yet.
What'd you get,
Hit
John?
no. If I was going by yes, no, it ends in the tower, so I'll say no. However, the four wands, which would be the House, and then the 10 of swords, which would be ending House. There's the woman, Queen of Wands, and the Hangman. So someone caught up, tied up, sacrificed. Knight of Swords is an attack, and then the tower is devastation. So it looks like yes, but like I said, if I was going yes, no, I'd say no. So as a Gemini, I want it both ways. I want to say yes, but I'll say no.
Well, MTG is calling to kick Mike Johnson out as speaker. Will she be successful in having him kicked out? Will they force Mike Johnson out because he signed the funding bill?
Yeah.
The budget.
That's only till March. I mean, it's crazy. It's the end of January. Oh, don't stop.
They did it the last time till February. Like they just keep doing it a month at a time, which is ridiculous.
Yeah. Mike Johnson be ousted.
Oh, Moses himself. I put one card against the sun. I remember we asked last week. I think we got a yes then too.
Right on the bottom.
But we'll see. He ain't got
Well, here's the card I started with today, that they all get,
What card is that, Lena?
It's the Two of Pentacles. He's juggling on a deck of a boat in choppy waters. So he's constantly at risk. But what they're worried about is it's finally got into their boneheads. It doesn't look good from the outside, right? So there's a bit more sanity. That might be too good a word, but you know what I mean? They're not as quick as they were the first time because they worked out it didn't look good. It's not going to stop her. She'll always give it a go, like that's her. And she's constantly running around the halls bleating, about it. But I don't think they'll do it just yet. There's nothing to indicate she'll win that one. That's just what she does all day, every day.
Mm-hmm. She's a carnival barker.
Yeah.
What'd you get, Vicky?
I don't think he's gonna be kicked out. That's what I think. But there is a moment of a judgment coming and a lot of anxiety. So I don't think he's sleeping. If that's
and that judgment may even be a bit of a vote behind closed doors before they go public or something like that too.
Yeah.
I get that he's comfortable, kind of stays there, but I get that this is a lot of manipulating and manufactured arguing and infighting within the entourage or the members of the house. This is the King of Hearts. So that could also be this person taking the lead, Trump, that he just wants all this disruption because he's not getting things his way. So just throw ketchup at the wall and see what sticks, sort of thing. Yeah. But it's manufactured. It's manipulated arguments here. And it's disrupting the entourage there, if that makes sense. So like Lena said, MTG she's just MTGing. It's what she does,
Yeah.
I get ultimately a yes, but not right away because he's strong right now. He's there, but they want someone that'll burden Biden more. So they may constrict him somehow a little bit, try to reel him in to be more burdensome to Biden's agenda. But ultimately, somebody's going to backstab him and take him out. So this maybe a month. But I get he'll be bullied and separated from his position. So might be another month or two down the road before it happens.
Well, to his credit, he did say God told him he was Moses. And thanks to people in the chat who informed me that Moses really didn't accomplish much, but roaming around the desert for 40 years and never made it to the promised land. So
right.
Good job.
And someone else in the comments says, Mike Johnson's preacher wife will be on her knees praying again.
Is that what she does when she gets on her knees? Is that?
Yeah, she's praying.
That wasn't the vision I got when I first heard that, but that's
yeah. While he's over there monitoring his son's porn, and his son is monitoring his porn intake. Yeah, that's Jesus.
Did we ask about the spots on Trump's hands because they were raised spots? You can't tell me that was a leaked pen. I'm sorry. They were. If you look at that photo, they were definitely raised spots of some kind. Somebody from Trump's team tried to say they were paper cuts.
Yeah,
paper cuts.
Mm-hmm. Paper cut. You know what I think it is? When Satan touches a Bible, I think he's touched a Bible
and got burned.
But a paper cut slice is a slice.
Not a spot.
It's like if he did this with a piece of paper or something. Like that was a circle.
It was very distinct circles, and I know, like we've looked at it before. I've gotten that Trump and Bannon have syphilis couple of years ago. So it wouldn't surprise me.
I figured it was like the golf club or something. But don't you wear gloves when you do such a thing?
Yeah, it's like, oh, you got blisters, like for the first time in your life playing golf, you suddenly got blisters.
It's not from manual work, is it? Like, you know.
Been golfing for years and never had spots like that on your
hands. Oh, my cards are hilarious. It's like it's a judgment from God.
Karma, baby.
I can't believe. I actually think it's probably more something like ringworm or something. It's been established it's not eczema, like they've had specialists look at it and la. And I don't think it's syphilis in the modern world. I think he would have had it treated. But I think it is something infectious and awkward. And he'll have to get the concealer out next rally. God, they'll be busy with the bronzer and the concealer.
Add more stink on them.
Yeah.
I get that they were like blisters or something hard, and can't say calluses because I mean the guy doesn't even pick up a Sharpie, you know. So it's something strong that burns, a strong burn, powerful burn. So it like a blister of some sort that may have ruptured. So
probably tried to touch Melania.
And she's probably been to an ancient witch in Slovakia or something, you know, it could be a curse. May he have pustules, you know.
Oh, shit.
Oh, you got to laugh because it's so crazy.
I get he's got balance issues. He has a problem that recurs over and over. So that could be like syphilis. It's recurring. I do get a yes card here on that. So he's got intestinal tract issues, which we all know, has to change his diapers all the time. He's got blockages in his blood system, has a bad back, probably from wearing his lifts too much. But it's more. I actually am getting a yes.
Okay.
Would that be a yes for syphilis?
Yeah, because I was asking, does he have syphilis, and then laid out for health spread and got a yes. Let's see, how much time have we got? Will Judge Kaplan ever remove Trump from the E. Jean Carroll court?
So I just asked because I didn't hear your question, Jenny. If it's the syphilis, I get something that is obscured, undetected, sexually transmitted that spreads. I'm just being the rumor mill. Okay, so the next question was: is he going to get kicked out of the court?
Out of the court. Will Judge Kaplan remove him from the court?
Yeah, this is a problem if he does or if he doesn't.
These judges, oh my God, they're having to be so patient because they don't want anything coming up in mistrial or appeals courts. They're cutting him way too much slack.
Judge Kaplan.
Will he kick him out or find a way to shut him down?
I get a no. I get this is just all one big publicity stunt and he's not going to give him what he wants. There's the moon, his celebrity. There's the cross. Oh, look at me. I'm such a victim. So that
Yeah.
he can go in the public. Oh, look at me. I've been crucified. This is unjust, blah, blah. Like he won't even let me talk. Like, victimhood. This is public celebrity of being a victim. He's not going to give it to him. So I could be wrong, but I get no.
No, and that's how I feel about it apart from the cards too. Don't give in to him. That's why I love the idea of the Perspex box. But anyway, I don't rule the world. So what I got here is Trump, of course, will continue the impulsive night. This is a legal dilemma. It's a procedural dilemma, for all the court staff. But they're going to sort of try and, I think with this start, he is doing it to make noise. Some sort of compromise. Now, I mean, what just sort of flashed into my mind is I think Judge Kaplan might say something, I don't know, I haven't followed this case particularly, but they usually say to the lawyers, will you keep your client quiet, please? They normally throw it back to the lawyers. And this compromise to me is that, because what Kaplan can do, which is quite clever, is then expose the fact that the lawyer can't control their client. So I think he might just keep doing that over and over. I'll ask you to keep your client quiet. Please do this. Do you want a recess to speak to your client? This sort of thing. Stall, stall, stall.
I think he's going to wait till and hit him in the pocket. He'll stay silent on this, and just try to get to calmer waters. I get Trump will get away with this, and then when it's over, they're going to hit him in the pocket with what the jury decides. It's actually like he's giving more fuel to the fire to the jury to give E. Jean Carroll more money.
Mm. Just doubling back to this card again too, it is Pentacles. So it could say, if you can't control your client, he will be fined, and he will be fined, and he will be fined. But just sort of stepping through that process in front of the jury.
Hitting him in the pocket, but
this was the first card I got. This is the box we want to put him in, I guess. But then I got the four of Pentacles. So I think he's gonna maybe fine him if that can happen.
Mm.
Justice. I think Trump expects that it cost him a little, but I think it's going to cost him a lot. So, like somebody said, the jury, it's going to look bad for the jury and look good for E. Jean Carroll.
Mm.
So this is the E. Jean Carroll case, this Judge Kaplan.
Mm.
Isn't it?
Yeah, you're right, Vicky, because I can't keep, he's got too many cases.
I know.
And with the moon, the middle card was the cross. That's some sort of disciplinary action. I didn't get any money cards, so that's why I didn't say fining.
Mm.
But I'm wondering, after everything is done and they're like, oh, here you go, community service.
Yeah, wouldn't that be fine?
Wouldn't that be
Feeding the homeless.
Feeding the homeless, or cleaning up the streets, or doing something like that, because it's almost like a public humiliation. Almost like, look at me, I'm the victim, but at the end of it, there's something that he views as public humiliation. So I'm wondering if there can be disciplinary action like that, maybe besides fines and all that stuff, like making him
give him some more blisters.
But I love that idea. Money is not working in these cases. No. They can make a judgment of another 200 million. It's the same with those poor women from Georgia with that gigantic payout from Giuliani. They're not going to see that money.
Right.
Yeah.
They're lucky if they can even get the court case, bills covered.
The judge had come out and said, no. You're paying that money, because I think he wasn't about to file for bankruptcy or something. He was doing something. Rudy was, and he was like, no, you're paying bankruptcy. Yeah, and then she was the judge was like, no, you're paying these two women that, you know, you've made their lives a living hell.
Yeah,
You
but
know,
then
so I don't know where
Helen,
they're going to squeeze it from, make him sell some properties or whatever, you know, but they're going to get paid, you know.
I would rather see a settlement of 2 million and see them get it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well,
Johnny,
E. Jean Carroll's lawyer is trying to present more evidence of things Trump has done during this trial.
Yeah.
Because he's still opening his mouth.
That day when when they were in trial, that morning before he went to court, he put out like 24, 25 tweets just saying horrible things. Like, so that's why the lawyers told the jury, don't think of it as a monetary number. Think of what it's going to take to make him stop. So,
Yeah.
As well as at his rallies, he's talking
Yeah.
to, you know, so they've got tapes that they're trying to present as additional evidence in this trial.
But there's no shortage of evidence. The problem is the system cannot handle him. And he's unleashed this thing, the same with Giuliani and all of them now. No one gets embarrassed into silence. They just keep saying it. How do you stop them saying it? You know?
that's the $1 million question, because anybody else who didn't have the resources would have been locked up a long time ago, Lena. A long time ago. Anybody
the only thing that'll shut him up is death.
And didn't have the title of former president. That's where it gets tricky, because nobody wants to be the first to jail the former president, even though he's a menace.
I'll do it.
Now, if you're a low-level criminal, you get a huge fine or jail, which is why wealthy people get out of it. Bring that system into play. Fining you, you know, $100 million or 18 months jail. They'd either come up with the money or 18 months jail, just like they do to mortals.
This whole thing about, oh, we can't put him in jail, that's a national security risk. Alcatraz is open. It's been vacant for freaking 50 years. Throw his ass there. Yeah. We ain't gonna miss him. We are not gonna. The world is not gonna miss him. So,
yeah.
Funny, Willis hired prosecutor Nathan Wade in the case down there, and there's all this stuff about they had an affair and he's divorcing his wife. Fani has been divorced since 2005, 2006. I was listening to a video of Glenn Kirshner's, and he was saying that can't affect. It has nothing to do with the facts of the case that they have done. So I just want to know, like, will she have any major problems because of this coming out? You know, because maybe they try to remove her from the case or something. You know, they passed that law where they can take out a AG down there in Georgia. Is she going to be okay with all this stuff coming out? Well, hello, Stewie. Little Johnny Fortescue.
Funny.
Put your butt right in my face. Yeah.
Yeah.
I asked if she would be removed from the Trump case. No, she continues on. This is just growing gossip, trying to just cause crap. I lost my card. It fell in the, okay. The birds, here it is. It's just talking, circular talking, talking in circles. She continues on. You know.
Yeah.
I asked if it would affect her case. No, there's 9 of Cups and Temperance. What is it will continue on. This is word of warning, the Hermit. This is just meant to isolate and to make people question. It ends in the 2 of Swords. That's all. Theater.
So to make people question what? When the jury rules that yes, indeed, Donald Trump committed crimes, and we're holding him to state to plant the seed that don't trust the justice system. Look what they did to poor me, sort of.
Look who did it. Just like when they did, Letitia James was running for governor. Oh, she was. She's doing all this for politics. And she was like, okay, well, then I'll withdraw and then I'll go with my cases then. Because we don't need the distraction. We don't, because that's all these stories are. They have no legal implications. They're just distractions. And so that's what this did.
Yeah, I guess she's sitting pretty. It's just Republicans trying to stir up something, bring this to an end, and make people emotional. I think she's quite secure there in how she structured this. It's like it's almost like they get blocked from looking into her personal life.
Yeah.
It's not relevant.
Vicky,
I get just in case we haven't had the Two of Pentacles for 5 minutes. They're doing this to make her to throw her off balance on Trump's behalf. But look, she gets the strength card in her judgment, so she will be all right. And she's done such a thorough job to this point. Even if the worst came to the worst, the cases would go ahead. But I think personally she will be all right.
I think she'll be okay too. I don't think this is I don't think I don't think there's any foundation for this. I was watching I think it was Midas Touch, and they were talking that his wife, this was like, she got her divorce like a year ago or something. And so this was just, then she got in with this Trump guy, and is bringing this up after the divorce went through or something. So it wasn't even like the reason why they got the divorce.
It was just a juicy little bit.
Just
to drag through them up.
She's too smart. Fonnie Willis is a tough chick. Let me tell you, she is the Ace of Swords. She is the Ace of Swords,
and also he wasn't underqualified for the job either. That was another thing they were trying. She gave him the job, No, he was perfectly entitled to have that position. So, yeah. Johnny, did you read on this?
Mm-hmm.
What did I miss? Tell me again.
Nothing. It goes forward.
Yeah.
Well, Vicki and Lena, thank you so much for joining us tonight. Just reminder, tomorrow Vicki and I will be live on my channel at 10 a.m. Central, 11 a.m. Eastern time. Hope you guys can join us. Becca, who was the last Grand Tableau you did? I'm trying to remember.
The last one I did was on Ronna McDaniel. I still need to do Scott Perry and a few others.
I'll have to go back and check the Ronna McDaniel one.
Yeah,
that was really interesting. And if you look at her Mike Johnson one, also Ronna was coming up in his. It was interesting.
Right.
Phone calls. What was it, Jenny? It was about phone calls.
Phone calls and I think it was tied to the fake electors or something. I forgot how it showed up in his, but I remember when it came out about Ronna, I was like, oh, that's the woman, because it was a woman.
Yeah, because she's gone under the radar all these years, and she's important,
Mm-hmm. Well, they have her on tape offering legal representation for these people to commit crimes.
Oh,
so have fun getting out of that one, Ronna.
That's pretty crazy. And in the comments, just the difference between Aileen Cannon, who's got no experience, and Fonnie Willis. This is her 24th RICO case.
Yeah.
So this is someone who knows her way around a RICO case.
It's RICO. I keep hearing that song, Ricky, you're so fine, but I hear it as Rico. Rico, you're so fine.
I hear it as Rico.
From the 80s.
Well, guys, thanks for having me.
Thank you. And everybody be safe this week and watch your weather forecast. I know it's crazy all across the country again.
Not here. It totally missed us, Jenny.
Or go visit Becca.
Like, screw you,
Yeah.